MPs say that dress codes which discriminate against women are still widespread in UK workplaces. Women workers have been instructed to dye their hair blonde, wear revealing outfits and reapply makeup. Parliament decided to hold an inquiry into dress codes in the workplace after Nicola Thorpe lost her job as a receptionist because she refused to wear high heels. Well, joining me now to discuss this further is the executive career coach and working mum, Garrett. Hello to you. Now, it's quite important to emphasise that we're not just talking about women being asked to dress smartly in the workplace. We're talking about specific requests like putting on more makeup or wearing heels. I mean, sometimes you must have to wonder what century this is.
Absolutely. I think maybe 40 years ago now, women weren't allowed to wear trousers in the workplace. And we are now. And I think it's time for the next revolution, the next overhaul in terms of what the rules are around women and work. We're not ornaments. We're not there just to look pretty. We make a really viable contribution to the performance of organisations and the success of them. And as a result, we shouldn't be treated as if, we're standing around and looking pretty is what our job is about. And being told to wear makeup and heels, I'm sure doesn't make any difference to the bottom line of the business.
So what should you do if you are a woman in the workplace and you feel that you're being asked to dress in a way that you feel is inappropriate?
I think it's really important to ask people to justify their reasoning. And sometimes there is a good reason for a request. If you're asked to maybe put a jacket on, because culturally, a client thinks that's respectful, you may want to adhere to that. But if it's just because it's always been that way, then, I would definitely question that and challenge that and maybe say, maybe we should have a working group to review the dress code. So I wouldn't directly challenge and say, you're being sexist, I'm going to a solicitor, but I would definitely go smoothly and say what difference that makes for you. Actually, if I'm told to wear heels every day, that hurts my back. And if my back's hurting, I may be off work. And as a result, the contract I'm working on might suffer. Let's actually demonstrate the difference it would make. And I think, organisations should be inclusive. Any dress code that you put in place that excludes or harms or causes a problem for your staff needs to be considered and thought about very carefully.
Do you think sometimes that men are also subject to some quite strict dress codes? I mean, I was just looking at the parliamentary website, and actually male MPs are expected to wear a shirt and tie, whereas female MPs can just wear smart business-like attire. So actually, in some circumstances, it feels as though actually it's men who have to wear more stringent uniforms than women.
I think at times of the year that can make a difference. I mean, in the UK, it doesn't happen that often, but when we have that wonderful hot weather, I do see men suffering, absolutely, with buttons done up to the top, their collar, shirts on, long sleeve shirts, trousers. Of course, I think, and most of the time they're not allowed to wear sandals. So I think men can suffer. However, I think they should speak up if they have an issue and if it's unreasonable as well. It definitely works both ways. It's not just about women. It's about organisations listening and understanding and moving forward and thinking what is needed, what is necessary in today's working life for people to wear. Definitely be professional, but professional can look different.
Yeah, so perhaps a bit more of a flexible attitude. I'm keen to talk to you a bit more as well about wider issues of discrimination in the workplace. One thing that's always shocked me is that if you look at the gender pay gap, in the 20s, women actually earn relatively similar amounts to men, but as soon as you go into your 30s or 40s, when you're taking time off to have kids, suddenly the gender pay gap explodes. Are you worried about other forms of discrimination in the workplace as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think, organisations are still thinking, are they planning to have a child soon? What difference will that mean for me? If they need to go part-time, therefore they won't be in the business, they won't be as committed. There's definitely something about being part-time and being seen as not as committed. That's an issue. There are so many layers of, sexism in the workplace that really mean that we need to have a change of mindset. It's not just about legislation. We can change all the laws in the world, but if your boss thinks that actually a professional woman dresses in a certain way, or women have children and then are no longer committed to their careers, then we still have many issues. So it's about mindset, and it's about people at the top of organisations, getting women at the top of organisations so they can change those stereotypes and change those mindsets, but also helping the men, and there are some great supportive men out there, helping them to advocate women and show that actually, women can do their roles and more alongside motherhood if that's what they choose to do.
OK, Jenny, Garrett, thanks very much for your thoughts.